Hello, beautiful beings, kings, and queens. Thank you for tuning in to the Golden Petals podcast. Bienvenidos, damas y caballeros. Gracias por escuchar al podcast Pétalos de Oro. Que Dios me lo bendiga. Gracias por el apoyo. My name is Marie, aka Mari, and I'm so excited to be here with y'all today. Last week's episode, I talked about overcoming obstacles, and I also announced the release of my book, Golden Petals, the book, which is now available for purchase. The link is in my bio, and I'll also be sure to include the link in the description of this video. You can access Golden Petals here on YouTube. All of my names are the same here on YouTube, on Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, Cash App, Golden Petals 1111. Again, that's Golden Petals 1111. Thank you so much for the love donations. They are not mandatory, but they are appreciated. So thank you so much for all of the support, all of the love. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Send this to a friend, a loved one who you think would appreciate the message. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit more about my book and also talk about investing in yourself. A lot of people had questions about what my book is about. So I did want to get into that as well. Golden Petals is a labor of love. I love writing. Ever since I was little, writing has been a passion of mine, especially poetry and spoken word. So Golden Petals, the book, it's a combination of a few things. The first part of the book, I talk about energy. I talk about the healing journey, self-love. I talk about the divinity that each and every one of us contain within ourselves. I talk about peace. There's also positive affirmations in here. And the second half of the book is my poetry. It's poetry that I have written throughout the years. I used to have, as a teenager, I used to have like a little journal where I would keep my poems. So I put some of the poems from my journal in the book. I have poems from literally, different ages and stages across life, from being a teenager to being a young woman to being a mature woman, growing into adulthood. Like, you see the phases and stages evolving throughout the course of my life in the book as well. So that's why I say it's a labor of love. It's a very soul-bearing book that I didn't intend to write, but it just so happened to end up that way. A lot of the things that I wrote, it was me expressing myself. It was me talking myself through my own healing journey. A lot of the things that I share with y'all on Golden Petals, the podcast, and in Golden Petals, the book, these are things that I've had to tell myself in my own healing journey. These are things that I've learned, in moments of meditation or reflection, prayer, receiving spiritual downloads and understanding, and then writing as I'm processing what's going on around me, within me. So a lot of that compiled into a book. It went from me writing, processing everything, and just having writing sessions for myself, and just channeling all this information and wisdom that was given to me, processing it, understanding it. And then it morphed into, when I was doing earlier episodes of Golden Petals, the podcast, when I first started back in 2019 and 2020. And at that point, I realized, I was like, oh my goodness, I have a book. This can be a book. And so then ever since that moment, I was carefully curating the information and being very intentional with putting it together to be what it is today, which is Golden Petals, the book. So you have a little bit of everything in here. You have, the first part of the book that gets into the spiritual perspective of the healing journey. You have the positive affirmations, and then the rest of the book is my own poetry. So from my heart to yours, thank you so much for all of the love and support. I truly appreciate it. Again, the link is in the bio. And the book does not have to come alone. I also have Golden Petals, the journal. And Golden Petals, the journal, it has a lot of free spaces and pages. So if you want to write your own reflections or vent, write your plans, your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, you have plenty of space to do that here. And I also have some journal prompts. So there are some questions, in your own sessions of reflecting and healing, evolving and growing. There are journal prompts that you can follow here as well. So this is available on Amazon, link in the chat. So be sure to like, share, subscribe, and this is available for you and yours. Thank you so much. I'm definitely excited to be embarking on this journey with you. And part of the journey is bringing us to today's topic, which is investing in yourself. You are your best investment. And the relationship that you will always have in this life is the one with yourself, which is why it's super important to be kind to yourself, give yourself grace, understanding yourself, being honest with yourself, and choosing yourself. All of these things help create a solid foundation. When you're able to create a solid foundation within yourself, you're able to create a solid foundation within your life. And finding beneficial and healthy ways to pour into yourself can really elevate the ways that you invest in yourself. And learning what that looks and feels like is unique to you and your journey, and that's the beauty of it. You get to choose and find ways every day to pour into yourself, to choose yourself, and you get to try things until you find out what works. It's a lot of trial and error in that process because you learn what does work and you learn what doesn't. What may work for one person may not work for the next, and that's okay. And so you get to take the time to figure out what are ways that feel beneficial and aligned to you to build yourself up as you're building your life up. And a big part of that is trusting the process. Trusting the process is definitely easier said than done, but Rome was not built in a day. And the best version of yourself is not going to be built overnight either. Those small steps matter. Every step forward is worth celebrating, and those small steps can actually make a big difference. So you get to figure out in this process, what are ways that make you feel better and elevated and like your best self? And it can be different for everyone. Some people love working out. Some people love drawing. Some people love, it's different for everyone. Some people love being able to meditate. Some people love spending time with their family. It's different for everyone. And so that's why you get to figure out what it is that works for you and what are the habits that you can embody every day to continue to build yourself up. Something that can help is visualizing. Visualizing. Just taking a moment to think about, what does the best version of you feel like? What does the best version of you look like? And then asking yourself, what are the habits that that best version of me would have? And then you in real life beginning to embody what those habits are and making choices and decisions that align with the best version of you and your best life. And being very intentional with your time and your energy. That is very crucial, because when you are making moves every day on a daily basis, it's important that you are making decisions and choices that align with your goals. And of course, giving yourself grace in the process, because we all know nothing is perfect. And we all have moments where it's like we start off doing good, then we have a slip up. Baby, everybody slips up. Just go ahead and get back on the wagon. If you fall off the wagon, it happens. Dust yourself off. Get back on. Like Aaliyah said, if at first you don't succeed, go ahead, dust yourself off and try again. That's part of it. That's a part of the process. That's a part of the process. But just finding those things every day that make you feel good for you. I know for me personally, I absolutely love walking. I love walking in nature. That's always been my thing. There's something so relaxing about it. I always feel at peace, and it makes me feel good mentally, physically, emotionally, because I'm getting my steps in. I know for me personally, I live where the palm trees are, so I like to be able to walk outside. I get on average 10K steps in a day, and I notice a big difference from when I do work out to when I don't work out. Like, that is very important to me. My health is very important to me. So making sure that I'm having habits every day to where I'm taking care of myself, because I notice a difference. Like, if I go a certain amount of time not working out, I can feel the difference. So it's very important to me to make sure that I'm making decisions and choices that are in alignment with what feels good to me. Because when I don't work out, I feel like sluggish and groggy, and it just throws off my mood and the energy for the day. So I notice, like, when I do start my day with a walk, or I end my day with a walk, it makes a difference. Going to the gym, that's always been like a nice outlet. Baby, I've been on all sides of the spectrum. I've been small, I've been plus size, but consistently, like, no matter where I'm at on the spectrum, my health is a priority, and you gonna catch me at the gym. And having my smoothies, that's like my go-to. But those are things that make me feel good for me. And I know consistently, foolproof, like, health is wealth. So making decisions where my health is taken care of and a priority, that allows me to better focus on my other plans and my other goals. So, and you know what they say, when you look good, you feel good. So just making choices every single day that are in alignment with health and habits, and finding a group of like-minded people who can hold you accountable with love and support you in your goals, on your goals, and with what it is that you're doing. So that definitely makes a difference. Just being intentional with your time and energy, making sure that the habits you have, the choices that you're making, the decisions that you're making every day, asking yourself, is this bringing me closer to my goal or farther from my goal? Is this adding to my plans and hopes and dreams, or taking away from it? Is it keeping me stagnant, or is it moving me forward? And just making sure that you're maximizing your moments. That's really important too, because it can be something so simple. Investing in yourself doesn't necessarily have to always be like this big thing. It can be that, but investing in yourself, it can be the small, simple things too. It can be something as simple as enjoying your cup of coffee in the morning. taking time to really just sit, have a nice hot cup of coffee or a hot cup of tea, whatever the case may be, and just intentionally being with yourself. You know, a lot of times the habits that we have, it can make a difference. When you wake up in the morning, instead of scrolling first thing, taking time to actually wake up, you know, whether it be you say a prayer, you read your daily devotional, you do a meditation, or you stretch, whatever the case may be. But having a habit, it doesn't necessarily have to take up a lot of time, but it's just intentional time. It doesn't have to be, I'm going to do this for 3 hours, I'm going to do that. It can literally be the small stuff, especially because we want to be realistic, right? Because how many of us are living life every day and having responsibilities and obligations? So sometimes you have to make the most with what you have. If all you have is 15 minutes, that can absolutely be enough. If you're able to do more, great. But the important thing is finding time to be with you, finding time to pour into you, and something that you can do every day to fill your cup, big or small. A step forward is a step forward, and every step deserves to be celebrated and acknowledged. So big or small, it matters. And the small steps can make a big difference. So being able to find a balance in all of the things that we do, it's a constant juggle, but it's absolutely worth it. And part of investing in yourself also includes taking inventory. You want to take inventory of yourself, and you want to take inventory of your surroundings. And you want to ask yourself, what do you have more of around you? Assets or liabilities? With money management, anytime someone is investing, you want to make sure that you're pulling your money into an asset, something that is going to appreciate in value, meaning it's going to increase or have a positive return. And a liability is something that unfortunately can be damaging. You can lose your money, or you can end up making a decision that's not to your benefit, and it can hurt you more than you can help you. So the same way with money, you have to analyze assets and liabilities. It's the same thing with energy management as well. Taking honest inventory within you and around you to know, okay, what habits, people, choices, decisions, what is an asset and what's a liability? What is adding to my goals and what is subtracting from my goals? And just from there, being able to make informed decisions and respond accordingly. You know, if you have to put loving but firm boundaries and respectfully place distance, that's okay too. You are your best asset, hands down. So it's important to make sure that you are in spaces where you can grow, flourish, and be the best version of yourself. You can't heal in the environment that made you sick. So sometimes it's important to take honest inventory and make sure that your choices and decisions are in alignment with what is for your best and highest good, what's beneficial to you, and what adds to you, what builds you up, what lifts you up, not what takes away. If it's draining you or taking away from your peace, it's too expensive, and baby, it's gotta go. So just making sure that as you're investing in yourself, you're choosing yourself and people, places, environments, and things that are in alignment with that, that are supportive of that, and that can foster that growth for your success. You are your best investment. And today is the best day to create and choose your best life. So with that being said, choose you, choose life, and know that every day is an opportunity to grow and be better than before. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to Golden Petals, the podcast. Be sure to leave yellow hearts in the comments if it resonated. I hope that you have an amazing, wonderful day. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time.